This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes. Thank you for joining us tonight. Some say it was bound to happen. With 1,000 apartments and condos going up in the Rosemary district, countless trees are being cut down on a regular basis. Some residents are trying to preserve the bigger trees before it's too late. ABC7's Ray Collins has more on this story tonight. Ray.
Haley, 1,000 units, condos, apartments. With all that development, some say the trees could be indeed in jeopardy. It seems everywhere you look in the Rosemary district, a building is going up. And with all this development, a number of trees are bound to come down.
It's a tough challenge, with development. Certain things have to get sacrificed.
Michael Bush owns an upscale furniture store here in the Rosemary district, and he's been waiting for this kind of growth for years.
The city has been looking for the Rosemary district to prosper, but certainly with all the available land that was in the Rosemary district, it was inevitable that we would be building up.
And some trees would be lost in the process.
Right, and hopefully replaced by others.
But earlier Thursday, nearly a dozen Sarasota residents came to City Hall concerned specifically about a development at the corner of 4th and Coconut that involves some large trees that they don't want touched. A city spokesperson says staff plans to hire an independent arborist to provide a detailed report of the ficus trees and their survival chances if moved.
I think there's unanimity.
Commissioner Suzanne Atwell says this development versus trees issue was bound to happen.
Sure it was. With the upturn, it's happening everywhere. And Rosemary, look, it was the stepchild over on the other side of Fruitfield for so many years. I called it that for many years. And now they're a big player. We have to look at the environment and how that fits in.
Commissioner Atwell says the city might build more so-called pocket parks to make up for the trees that might come down. A city spokesman says the city's tree ordinance allows for the city to charge a developer for an independent third party to conduct a tree analysis when need be, Haley.
So, Ray, the existence of trees could play a part in whether certain developments are approved.
Yeah, the city says those reports by the arborists will be a guide for staff's recommendations and decisions.
All right, interesting. Thank you, Ray. A scare at Venice High School today after police say a bomb threat came in this afternoon. All students were evacuated to the school's football field as a precaution. Venice police called in the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office bomb squad, which found no suspicious devices. The school district sent out automated calls to parents informing them about the situation. No details have been released on who may have made that threat. A new approach to tackling the Suncoast homeless problem. Law enforcement and some nonprofits in Manatee County are asking you to get involved with their new 211 card program. The cards are available to hand out to the homeless and to panhandlers. Those receiving the cards can call 211, which helps lead them to available services.
We've met with social service agencies, law enforcement, and media representatives and came up with this campaign to try and address the problem by helping people understand what resources are available in the community.
All you have to do is to find out more information on this program, well, you call 211. 5 days out from Election Day, and the candidates, along with their surrogates, are hitting the campaign trail hard. Both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump rallying supporters in the swing state of North Carolina. The GOP nominee earlier today in Jacksonville, as was President Obama out stumping for Clinton. And Trump's running mate, Governor Mike Pence, was joined by Senator Ted Cruz in Michigan. This as all these polls have tightened recently. In Florida, the latest survey has the race neck and neck, Clinton and Trump fighting for votes in the home stretch to November 8th.
If Donald Trump were to win this election, we would have a commander-in-chief who is completely out of his depth and whose ideas are incredibly dangerous. Someone who wants more countries to have nuclear weapons.
See, what I have is a winning temperament. I have a winning temperament. Hillary is an unstable person. We know how to win. Got to know why you want to win, too. She has no idea.
6, I studied for the test.
Also out on the campaign trail today, Melania Trump giving her first speech since the RNC, and Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Kaine rallying in Phoenix. Both he and Governor Pence will be in Florida tomorrow. As the Florida Supreme Court again reviews the ballot language of the controversial Amendment 1, so close to Election Day, opponents of the initiative held events across the state, including in downtown Sarasota. Amendment 1 seeks to change the state constitution to say that consumers shouldn't subsidize solar growth. Opponents argue that it is misleading and backed by big utility companies as a way to make solar energy more restricted and highly regulated.
It sounds like a very good amendment on paper, but we are finding that when you talk to the average voter and give them more information, that they are smart enough to know that voting no on this amendment is what they should do.
Groups in favor of it say it encourages the use of solar power and helps protect consumers from fraud. It needs more than 60% approval to pass. And we did have plenty of solar energy out there today. Let's head over to Bob for a check on our forecast.
Well, right now we're looking at generally fair skies up and down the coast. Just a few clouds around Haley, but it is warm, 74 degrees after a high today of 88, which was nearly a record. The dew point temperature is still up there at 63. Winds out of the north-northeast, fairly light at 6 miles an hour. And the pressure 30-13, and that is high and has been rising slightly this evening. Well, there is some relief on the way to this warm weather we've been seeing. This is a little bit of a front here. You can see this cold front extends right there through Tennessee all the way down into Texas now. It's a slow mover, and it's really not much behind it. Temperatures will actually drop down to more seasonal averages as opposed to the above average temperatures we've been seeing as of late. So we will look forward to that. Not a big cold front, though, in terms of bringing jackets and sweaters out. That's not around anywhere soon, but it could be here next weekend. More on that coming up in a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. An update tonight on a Bradenton fatal shooting investigation. Police now charging Derek Frazier with second-degree homicide charges had been pending. The shooting happened on 5th Street this morning. When police arrived, they found Daquan Randolph with a gunshot wound to his neck. He died at the scene. Investigators say the incident stemmed from an argument between the two men, with Frazier then shooting Randolph. An investigation is underway after a Sarasota man reportedly gets a 13-year-old girl pregnant. Police charging 26-year-old Diego Vasquez with lewd and lascivious battery and impregnating a child under the age of 16. Detectives are not sure how the two knew each other, but say the 13-year-old, who came to the U.S. from Guatemala about a year ago, told them that she and the suspect are boyfriend and girlfriend and are in love. The investigation is ongoing. Manatee County Sheriff's detectives arrest a woman for allegedly operating an illegal internet cafe and a gambling establishment out of a pawn shop. Authorities are investigating over the course of several weeks the location on 15th Street East in Bradenton. They ended up seizing more than 100 computer monitors, 79 computer towers, and around $3,500. Fala Coleman was arrested today and now faces multiple charges. The city of Venice may be getting a little bit more congested. These road projects have been in the works for years now, but resurfacing is about to finally begin. 8 major roadways will be affected, including Shamrock Boulevard, Center Road, and River Road. The county says some of these roadways have gotten too bumpy to drive on them safely. Signs have already gone up warning drivers of upcoming construction and lane closures. River Road is in particular a priority.
It's actually in pretty bad condition. A lot of potholes tend to open up on the roadway during the rainy season, and at the speeds that people are traveling, it makes it somewhat unsafe.
The resurfacing is expected to be complete in January. River Road is also scheduled to be widened from 2 to 4 lanes in the next several years. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the official Suncoast forecast, plus the environment and our community. Experts come from Japan for a forum at Mote Marine. And our series Suncoast 2037 continues with a look at development in Parrish, what popular city it could look like in the future.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7, your Suncoast News.
A new recommendation for patients with advanced cancer in HealthSmart.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 15th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. Watch live cooking demonstrations from local chefs and take part in a silent auction to bid on creative prize packages that will delight any foodie or wine connoisseur. The event will feature live music by Kettle of Fish. There's free parking, and all proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. Don't miss this year's Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Well, Bob, I will say that the humidity is down a little bit, but it's still hot out there.
Yeah, 88 degrees today. 1 degree shy of a record, 89. Yeah,
wow.
We're going to have a cold front come through, but it's not going to be a front that kind of just gives us a big chill. It's going to bring us back to average. 82 is our average temperature.
Well, I'll take that.
Yeah, I know. It's better than nothing,
than
right?
what we have.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It looks like this front will not do a whole lot. It will bring us a slight chance of showers late tomorrow night. Lakewood Ranch webcam showing some clouds around, but lots of sunshine for the most part. Near the coast, anyway, more clouds inland areas earlier today. And then just 1 or 2 lone showers did push through parts of the Suncoast near Siesta, and also a few isolated showers inland earlier. Those have all since moved on. And boy, some great photos of the sunset again tonight. Field Club, Daniel getting this one, and Amy sending this one in to the Suncoast, a Suncoast sunset. And get a look at this. I saw this earlier this morning, too. They look like cloud angels, if you will. High-level cirrus clouds moving through the sky there with some downdrafts and kind of a breezy conditions up there at around 40,000 feet, creating those ice crystals and interesting patterns that you see right there. That was at Pelican Point in Venice. That's where I saw them. As the Titan radar picture goes, you can see some rainfall associated with that front. Not a lot, but just a few, and we're expecting a few showers with it. The important thing is to know we've had this northeasterly wind around this area of high pressure, which continues, by the way, to shift away as the front approaches. So this front is going to eventually move on through. There's a low pressure developing along it, which will eventually swing some of that cooler air our way over the weekend. Right now, the radar picture showing still some isolated showers along the east coast and into the Gulf Stream along the east coast. But for us, those showers that were around, for the most part, are done, and it looks like we won't count on any more rainfall this evening. Currently, as I showed you earlier, we have a few clouds and 74. That's a summer-like reading, 74. The dew point in the summer never gets below 70, so that's one of the benefits we've had, is that the air has been rather dry. Winds out of the north-northeast at 6. The pressure 30-13, and that continues to rise. The high today, well, there it is, 88 degrees, 1 degree shy of the record of 89 set back in 1995. 81 is our normal high temperature, and that's where we'll be, I think, on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. No rainfall officially at the airport, and for the month now, we're starting below average for November. Well, temperatures around the area in northwest Braden at 75, fairly uniform, just a couple degrees cooler Inland places like Parrish and Waterleaf and Rosedale in the low 70s there. 74 at Laurel Oak and 73 now in Venice, 72 in Northport Inglewood at 72. Well, the hourly forecast, although it depicts sunshine throughout the entire day, I think we'll have a few more clouds around than this is depicting this particular model. High temperatures will be in the low 80s near the beaches, mid 80s inland. And as that wind changes, you'll see that front move down. That happens mainly later tomorrow. It looks like the timing of the front is still a little bit suspect. I think it's late tomorrow night that it moves through, eventually clearing the area by sunrise on Saturday. There's just not enough push for it to really sweep on through quickly. You can see it's bringing some showers to Texas right now, and it continues to move off to the southeast. You can see that rain moving through West Virginia and parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. Well, the overall water vapor content not showing a lot of moisture around, and that means the upper levels of the atmosphere, we're talking 20, 30,000 feet. And with that in mind, we're not anticipating much rainfall as the front moves on through. This system has no chance really of developing as it makes its way into the open waters of the Atlantic. And the futurecast does show that thin line of clouds moving on down by Saturday morning, should be out of here. And we'll get that north to northeasterly wind component beginning over the weekend. Now for boaters, winds will pick up in the afternoon, but they'll start off at 5 to 10 knots and seas running right around 2 feet. A little choppier over the weekend. Tides on your screen, the upcoming high tide at 2:20. Forecast tonight, partly cloudy and then fair by sunrise, 66. Warm tomorrow, again, 86 degrees the high. The extended forecast is calling for temperatures to be in the low 80s, finally back to where we belong. And it looks to be pretty good weather for voting, too. Not bad at all, with lots of sunshine out there, so no weather excuses to get that vote counted. Well, Captain Johnny says the red tide is still out there, although the effects aren't there. You don't see as many dead fish, and it's not causing too many problems for beachgoers because of that strong easterly wind. However, he says the fishing is still pretty slow because he thinks that a lot of the fish took off and moved out of here. Here's more.
The day starts off with this gem, a nice sundog. That is when there appears to be two suns, as cirrus clouds composed of ice crystals refract and reflect the light. The captain was on a scouting mission today, checking out places for future clients. First stop, a small reef off Longboat Key.
A little split shot on
to get it down to the bottom, huh? Using some small scaled sardines or greenbacks, Captain Johnny hooks up a nice one.
That's a big one, nice one. That's what we want, Todd. Oh yeah, a nice Key West grunt. You know, people stick up their nose at Key West grunts, but boy, they are good eating. They're just like mangrove snapper.
And I can attest to that, as it made for a great lunch, quite tasty. Making our way out to M1 and 2, the wind picked up and so did the waves. Keeping the bottom fishing going, I was pulling up what appeared to be a nice catch, and then wham, a huge Goliath grouper got me, and eventually he won the battle. Captain Johnny would find yet another off the 36-foot bottom reef to add some more for lunch. The fishing was slow but fun as we saw a large school of little tuna chasing after some flying fish. On the way back, we fish a small drop-off, and the captain brings in a pretty good-sized red grouper, but not big enough.
There's grunts out here on the bottom, and every once in a while, the little red grouper. Too bad he isn't 20 inches, would be legal, but it's fun catching anyway. Hey, remember, take your kid fishing, because someday they may take you.
So he did some scouting. He said he's not going to go to those places when he takes his clients because it didn't work out that well. But I tell you, Captain Jeff Page took this gentleman right here, Troy Cyprit. I know Troy. He caught a nice redfish. So people are catching some fish out there. And I know a diver who went diving off the Point of Rocks just recently and said there weren't many fish around at all. The marine life seems to have moved out temporarily.
Red tide.
Yeah, red tide. And I know Johnny was out. We were out there a little bit, and he backed the boat up at one point, and it kind of kicked up the sea a little bit, and sure enough, I was starting to cough. My eyes were watering. So it's still out there a little bit. We'll have the full report coming up tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Bob. A public forum on science and society tonight at Mote Marine Laboratory. Mote scientists joined by their colleagues from Japan to discuss an international research project that highlights Mote itself for how the lab works with the community on things like research and conservation.
They're looking at Mote as a possible model for how to integrate science and society, the typical Western-trained scientist with local community groups, wherever you are.
This was the second in a series of public forums hosted by Mote about this research project. It's based on a concept that originated in Japan about the cohesiveness between humans and marine ecosystems. Now to our special series, Suncoast 2037, as we look ahead 20 years. Northeast Manatee County is growing rapidly, and county officials expect that growth to continue in Parrish. John Osborne is a planning official for Manatee County. He sees Parrish developing in a suburban-like fashion over the next 2 decades, but that doesn't mean turning Parrish into a crowded city, but rather developing it into a setting like Savannah, Georgia. And Osborne says Parrish is already on the right path.
Lakewood Ranch has the benefit of having one landowner, one developer, and they develop with a very specific intent in mind. They're looking at growing a community that serves not just the young people moving to Manatee County, but the retiring baby boomers and people in their senior years.
State transportation officials are already preparing for this growth by widening US 301 in the village of Parrish. That's intended to ease traffic flow in that area. The Bucks on Thursday Night Football and the Lightning back in Tampa. Sports is next, but first, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
Let's come together to watch this.
And I read all the good stuff.
I know this is the Jimmy Kimmel trick. That used to be my favorite trick.
The time has finally come.
This is by far the most important vote that you've ever cast.
Are you ready to go to the polls?
Who will be your next president? Election night. This is where the Suncoast turns for answers. The powerhouse team of ABC News and Scott Dennis, Haley Wilgus, Alan Cohn. Election night, live on ABC7. Brought to you locally by Florida Leather Gallery and Motta Brothers Furniture.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The agents at SWC would like to show you pictures of all the homes that they've sold quickly for their clients. But they're just too many to show. Contact SWC today and find out for yourself. We just market your home better.
This week is wild with Mustang rescues.
So this is not for the weak in pocketbook, as they might say.
And the nosy Cotamundi.
Look at the nose. The nose is amazing to me. Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC7.
Now, sports.
An important game for the Bucks against the Falcons tonight. During halftime, the great John Lynch was inducted into the Bucks Ring of Honor. And a win would keep them undefeated in the division and pull them within a game of Atlanta for first place. But instead of capitalizing on this opportunity, they are squandering it in the national spotlight. It was a close game heading into the half, but the Falcons have run away with it. It is now 40-20 midway through the fourth quarter after Jameis Winston just threw his third touchdown pass of the game. But it's likely too little, too late. If the Falcons hang on, this will be the Bucs' 17th loss in their last 20 games at Raymond James Stadium. The Lightning finally back at Amalie Arena after going 500 on their long 6-game road trip. They hosted the Bruins tonight, and this one just didn't need overtime but shootouts to decide a winner. Back and forth they went. Andrei Vasilevsky made some great stops in goal for the Bolts in the shootout. But finally, after 10 rounds, the Bruins outdueled the Bolts. They win the shootout 2-1 and take the game 4-3. Next up for the Lightning, the New Jersey Devils on Saturday. Cubs fans are on cloud nine today. It is no longer 108 years since the team's last World Series title. It is one day. The champs returned home with their prize in hand this morning after beating the Cleveland Indians in an almost too thrilling to believe Game 7. It really hasn't even been a day because the game ended after midnight. The series MVP, you might remember him, Ben Zobrist, and we know you remember the winning manager, Joe Madden. Cubbies fans ecstatic, no longer having to wait for a championship.
51 years I've been here waiting, diehard Cub fan from the South Side. It hasn't been easy, but the Cubs are awesome.
The anxiety was insane, you know, from down 3-1, it was one game at a time mentality.
Well, this is a look at the cover of Sports Illustrated. It says all the way. Chicago will celebrate the championship victory with a parade tomorrow. That's expected to be one of the largest public celebrations in city history. Congrats to the Cubs. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto number straight ahead.
Download ABC7's free all-new news app at your app store today.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Since 1928, Karastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Karastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
The celebration is heating up and the prices just keep getting better during the Jeep Celebration event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Grand Cherokees or get big savings on a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Stop by today and drive away in a brand new Jeep Compass for just $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop head that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
Some local business people showed off their bartending skills tonight in downtown Sarasota. This was a fundraiser at Louis Modern to benefit a local epilepsy organization called Josh Provides. It is named after 28-year-old Josh Chapnick, who passed away as a result of a seizure 8 years ago. His family formed the foundation and support group to help other families going through challenges related to epilepsy. This has become an annual event, and probably it looks like they had a lot of it outdoors in that part of Louis that's kind of covered.
Right.
And not a bad night for that.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Really, the rain, for the most part, stayed away. I know I ran into a few sprinkles this evening, but it wasn't too bad. And it looks like there's some better weather over the weekend.
That's what we're looking forward to. And then maybe even lower next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend there's actually a big cold front that could move through. Not this weekend, but next.
Next. Yeah. All right. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.